while, so I wanted to share with you something that I tried sharing before that I didn't end up sharing. I didn't end up sharing because I felt like I wasn't coming across authentically, and I wanted to be able to communicate the same way that I would communicate in real life to somebody, but communicate the same idea that I was doing before. You know, I guess I'm on this trip of trying to communicate myself as authentically as possible when doing these videos and just when talking about different stuff. So the idea that I want to get across is something that I've actually been working with, going through myself, and it's this idea of happiness, and to me, what seems to me is this like obsession in general, and in general society, and with people, about wanting to be happy. Like, we all want to be happy, right? And I want to be happy, and everybody wants to be happy. I mean, the basic is that we want to feel good. We want to enjoy our lives, and we want to experience, and we want to feel good. But I feel like, at least for myself, this necessity to be happy sort of takes away from the realness of life, and not only takes away from the realness that life has to offer, but sort of takes us away from ourselves, in the sense that, and I can only speak from my own personal experience, and that's seeing how important it was for me to maintain a level of being happy, didn't always allow for myself to experience the actual emotions that came along with whatever the fuck it is that we go through on the daily. And for myself, at least, I felt like I had, this mindset, or I had this necessity to, like, be to stay happy, to stay, to keep a certain level of happiness. So, like, when I was experiencing something that wasn't necessarily good, I would go ahead and I just say, okay, dude, put on that smile, and you'll feel better. Now, like, there is something positive about smiling, and I think that, smiling does a lot, can make other people happy, can make you feel better, but to, like, I think there's something really disassociative about wanting to move away from the own experience of emotions that you're having at that time, because a lot of the times those emotions that we're having are telling us other things about ourselves, and telling us other things, things that we could find out about. So as opposed to running away from experiences that are going to make us, feel not good for that momentary, for that moment, for that little while, who knows how long, we tend to stray towards having to, oh, just, like, be happy, it's all good, And somebody asks you how you're doing, people want to hear, oh yeah, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. No, but what if you're not good? What if you're not feeling good? Like, you need to answer, like, oh, I'm great, I'm great, And I find myself, once again, when people ask me, wanting to say that, and then also wanting to be honest. And, you know, and I think that because there's this emphasis on having to be happy, and on having to keep this state, to be like that, whatever that is, um, it's causing people to just be confused with what we really, sort of want, what we can use in our lives. It's confusing people, with what is okay, and what is healthy, and what is good. I'm not saying that depression is something that's good. I'm talking about something completely different here. I'm talking about the inability, or the pushing away of ourselves, and the disassociating of ourselves and who we are and how we're feeling, based upon this necessity to be happy. And I think on a bigger scale, on a even bigger, on a more global scale, people are, there are more people out there that are moving towards giving themselves other experiences and other feelings because they don't want to deal with the way that they're feeling at that time, and it's becoming something that's really that's it's like an illness, it's like a sickness, whether people are trying to fill themselves up by abusing drugs, or people are, abusing, situations and relationships with other people in order to make themselves feel better, or people are just simply using, using themselves and trying to, fill themselves up with other emotions and other feelings in order to get away from this, from that, from the feelings that they should be feeling at that very time and place. Now, there's obviously unhealthy levels of depression and chronic depression, and there are things that need to be treated by professionals. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about something that has to do with us not being happy with the way that we are and wanting to always change it and bring in something else to make us feel different because we want to be like that. I wanted to be like that. I thought that I should be like that, like I shouldn't be right now. So like right now, at least when I go through an experience, I'm trying to feel what it is and not to push it away, not to move it away. Um, and then to ask why. Why is it that I feel like that? And I'm not just talking about in particular, moments that I'm sad, but other moments. And it's so funny because like when my mom was here, and I had just broken up with my girlfriend, and I was going through a few months of just feeling totally, totally out of it, not feeling myself. And I was, I knew at the same time like what I was going through, but at the same time not. Like I wasn't being honest with myself. It's like why, like am I not normal? Like what am I going through? Dude, you just broke up with your fucking girlfriend that you had for a year and a half. That you had a serious, you know what I mean, a very, 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 you know, connected, let's just put it that way, relationship. Um, you know, dependent maybe also. Uh, I'm not going to get into that, but the point is this, is that I wasn't feeling good. And my mom came and she was like, "Oh, like, why aren't you smiling? Why aren't you like this?" I'm not fucking smiling because I'm not feeling good. Like, is there something wrong with that? Like, is there something wrong with not smiling and not feeling good for the moment? Listen, it might be different for other people in other situations. I'm just talking about myself and my experience with it, you know? And the point here is that we need to feel. And the point here is that instead of this quest for happiness, which I think causes people to become either unhappy or sick or just dependent on other things in order for them to be in that state of mind that they think is happiness. It's fulfillment. We replace the word happiness with fulfillment. And through fulfillment, right? That's how we ultimately gain a level of happiness. That we're not always going to be happy, but when life is fulfilling, people are generally happier. But that means sometimes I'm feeling good and sometimes I'm not feeling good. And that also means that there's work that needs to go into it. Because when there isn't work that goes into it, we don't tend to really feel that good. We're missing a lot of that good when we're not working for something that just happens to be the way that it is. And actually just discussed that on a really cool podcast that I would like you to check out. I will be posting it on my page with Miller Montgomery, who is a single dad's divorce coach. Awesome guy from Australia. I highly, highly recommend checking the podcast out and checking his stuff out. He's also got his own podcast called Manning Up with Miller, which I will be posting so you guys can take a look at it too. Upcoming, we're going to release, I think, this coming Sunday. There's going to be releases every Sunday. Sunday and hopefully Wednesday for the podcast. Yeah, and that's really the point right here. is that life is can be fulfilling, and that's the good. So I'm all about switch up happiness with fulfillment. Let's face and deal with that emotion, what we're going through at that time. And a lot of the times, if we go into it and we want to face it, we're going to find out what is underneath that. And a lot of the time, what is underneath that, those negative emotions, is we need to fucking check that out to find out what it is that's there. Because the second that we start digging a little bit deeper, asking ourselves why, what, where is this coming from, then we start, finding more core ideas that hold us back. And it's those core ideas, it is those things that generally will hold us back in life. It is those negative emotions that that happen as a result of maybe voices and ways that we speak to ourselves, ways that we perceive ourselves, generally have to do with core beliefs that we have about ourselves. So there's a lot to learn from those negative emotions. So it's a good idea not to cover them up because there's a lot happening there. And I can only say this from my own experience, and from what I'm learning in different areas that it's worth it. It's fucking worth it to go into it, to find out what it is. And I really feel on a level my own way of perceiving and being aware of myself and also other people and different things seems like it's changing as a result. Because there's a mask. When we're not aware of what we're feeling, we're not aware of other things. The less we are aware of what we're experiencing at the time, the less we are aware of other experiences and the things that are happening around us in general. We're caught up in a feel. I need to feel this way. And it's very hard to just to get what's going on around us when we're in this state of we need to feel that way. And it's on a level it's lying to ourselves. It's lying to ourselves about the way that we're feeling at that time. Now it's different. It's a little bit different than when you're if you're telling yourself bad things, if you can really listen to yourself and write out what it is that you're experiencing, with your thought patterns. A lot of the times it'll come out that you're saying negative things. And that's one of the reasons that you actually want to feel that, right? You want to be there and feel it so you can be aware of it and become more aware of it and get it written down, get it out there, get an idea of what's going on with yourself, uncover, what the sources of those limiting beliefs are, right? Because when you get to the source of limiting belief, we can start changing what it is and then start, working with whatever's blocking us from moving forward in life or moving forward with whatever situation it is. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let's cut out happiness. Let's switch it with fulfillment. I want to thank Kane Ramsey for that lesson I watched in a certification course. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. Much love to everyone, and thanks for watching.